Our today's discussion topic is distributed consensus mechanism in the blockchain. As we know that blockchain is decentralized platform where we have two approach. One is the open one and the second one private. So in open model, there are large number of participants and the identity of the participants is not known to all the participants, but in the private one the identity is known. So both have different approach, and that's why the consensus mechanism is used in both platform, in both model, in different way. So firstly we will discuss the requirement of the consensus mechanism, some background of the distributed system, and at last we will talk about some distributed system consensus mechanisms property and the approach for the consensus mechanism which will be used in the blockchain. So as we know that in the distributed system the replicas are maintained. So definitely in the blockchain, which is a decentralized platform, here we maintain replica. So every peer in a blockchain network maintains a local copy of the blockchain. So there are the requirements that all these replicas need to be updated with the last mined block. All the replicas should be consistent. The copies of the blockchain at different peers need to be exactly similar. Consistency means the all the copies should be similar at all the nodes. Ensure that different nodes in the network see the same data at nearly the same point of time. And all the nodes in the network need to agree or consent on a regular basis that the data stored by them is the same. So the distributed systems literature is used here in the blockchain also. So as we know that distributed system is a decentralized one, blockchain is a decentralized one. So data is stored in decentralized fashion. So no issue with a single point of failure. So the system can provide service even in the presence of failures. And as I said, we have lots of the literature available in distributed system from early 90s. So this will be used here in the blockchain. Now, why consensus mechanism is required? Basically, for example, we may have these type of issues like committing a transaction in a database, clock synchronization in the distributed system. So we need to ensure that correct operation in the presence of faulty individuals. There are the possibilities that there will be some participant which will work in faulty fashion. So we need to provide a kind of reliability and fault tolerance mechanism in the distributed system, and that's why we need some specific mechanism for that. Suppose take this a message passing approach. So in distributed or decentralized environment where we want to find out a kind of agreement, and suppose there is a multi-agent platform. So we have taken this very classical example of some generals that three of them out of 4 having the mindset to attack and one is to retreat. So how they can make a consensus for the execution of that? So consensus may be difficult in certain scenario like this. Here they are using a message passing mechanism. So this one forwarding his view to this one, and then you can see the cycle, everyone forwarding the his views on that. But his views is only, you can see this walking as a maliciously and not passing his view to other one. So that's why we need a different approach. If there is a no failure, then it becomes very easy. It's trivial to reach the consensus. We may take any mechanism, we may apply any policy, and we can find out the consensus. And the approach may be that broadcast the personal choice to all and apply a choice function like this. In the figure, you can see this node passing his view 10 to this node, 10 to this node, and 10 to this node. Similarly, this node having the views, this value represents certain according to certain parameters. So this node passing his views of value 20 to all three nodes. This node passing his views of values say 30 to all these remaining three nodes, and so on. Suppose we apply a choice function, say the maximum of all the value we will select. So you can see the 50 is the maximum value here out of these four value 10, 20, 30 and 50. So this will be the final consensus. So it is very easy by using this message passing mechanism to find out the consensus if we assume that there is no failure. But as we saw in this example, it is not useful. So in distributed consensus, there can be various types of faults. The one we saw, Byzantine faults, that is, a node starts behaving maliciously. Another kind of fault can be crash fault. It means a node suddenly crashes or becomes unavailable. Second one can be a network or partition faults. That means the network faults occur, say the link failure or the any kind of network gets partitioned, etc. The property of a distributed consensus mechanism, these are some basic property which should adhere by all these consensus mechanism. The first one is termination. Every correct individual decides some value at the end of the consensus protocol. Validity. If all the individual proposes the same value, then all correct individual decide on that value. Integrity. Every correct individual decides at most one value, and the decided value must be proposed by some individuals. And the last property is agreement. Every correct individual must agree on the same value. So at last, the single value will be agreed by all the participants. Now, there are two ways for message passing approach. The first one is synchronous and the second one is asynchronous. Synchronous means message must be received within a predefined time interval, and asynchronous means there is no upper bound on the message passing. Yeah, message termination delay is acceptable here. So in synchronous one, there may be some randomized algorithms kind of thing, And in asynchronous, we have these mechanism we will discuss in next lectures, like Paxos Raft mechanism and Byzantine fault tolerance mechanism. In short, we say BFT. Correctness of the distributed consensus mechanism. The first one is we have to see whether this mechanism is correct or not. The first one is safety. Correct individual must not agree on an incorrect value. And the second one, liveliness. Every correct value must be accepted eventually. Every correct value must be accepted. So now we can summarize here that the basic concept is based on message passing, that inform your current state to other and find out the everyone can match their current state with others in the network. So this is the message passing. However, it requires that participants in the consensus algorithm knows each other. So it is used in the model where each participants know each other. So it will be useful in a permission blockchain, but it cannot be used in open model, that is permissionless model. So can we achieve this consensus even when the network is arbitrarily large and no participant in the network really knew all other participants? So that is the open model, that is permissionless model. So here we use a challenge response type of mechanism. Here we pose some challenge to all the participants. Each node, each participant try to find out the solution for that, and the winner will decide the actual consensus. Now, the challenge response mechanism, as I said, that the nodes in the network try to solve the challenge posed by the network. The node that is able to solve the challenge first would get to dictate what the next set of data or state elements to be added. And this will continue iteratively at different rounds. So the design of good challenge is also an important factor for the consensus mechanism. So ensuring that different nodes will win the challenge at different runs. So the challenge should be decided such that no one should dominate that network. So this is the basic requirement for the challenge response approach. This ensures that no node would be able to control the network. So proof of work algorithm is basically the example which is used in the Bitcoin and open model. So we will discuss this proof of work and how we can apply consensus mechanism in Bitcoin in the next lecture. So enough for today. Thank you.